definition of warrior leadership is, I have found my purpose in the world. I have learned how to bring my purpose to others. I am living my purpose, leaving nothing on the table, nothing untried, living my someday goals as now. Welcome to the Warriors at Work podcast, hosted by Jennifer Baldwin, President of E9 Corporate Coaching, where we help you become a warrior at work so that you get to fully live.
Hi, folks. Welcome back for the second podcast episode called Shift from Fear to Fact. This is about neuroscience, and it's really, really cool. So one of the things that I teach in my online courses is that the more we think a certain way, the more we think that way. And the more we think a different way, the more we think a different way. So here's what I learned recently. About 3 weeks ago, I was up at Summit County snowboarding. So I am not a skier, I'm a snowboarder. And I have been a snowboarder for about 20 years, back when there were very few women or girls who did it. And I got a little bit of a kick out of being the only one on the mountain doing that. So anyway, I was up snowboarding, and an hour after I left the mountains, they basically shut down Summit County. They shut down all the mountains. I came home, and they had asked people who had been up there to stay home for a couple weeks just to make sure everything was fine. And so I did, as requested, and spent the first week wondering what it is that I had to offer. Thinking, okay, I work as a coach and I have this coaching model. I wrote this book and I've created these online courses and I've studied this and I've been practicing this and I've run mastermind groups. I've had coaching clients. What do I have to say about the current situation that can help people? What does my coaching model say about this? And I spent several days thinking about it, about what I genuinely, authentically had in my arsenal that would help people. How do I respond to a situation like this? What should my company be doing? And I learned two things. First of all, that the first online course of the 7-course series is focused on warrior self. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's what we all need right now. That's exactly what we all have to be right now. And the second thing is, I had a bit of a revelation about the day that I was up snowboarding. What I noticed was, as I came back down from the mountains in the car and got on the highway and hit cell phone reception range, my phone started going off with all kinds of news stories and text messages from friends and Facebook posts about what was going on in the world. And I felt completely prepared to handle it. So let's think about why. I spent the day looking at amazing views, looking at views that people pay a lot of money to accomplish, to come out here to Colorado and go snowboard. I spent the day at the top of a mountain looking out for miles and miles on a sunny day with great weather. I spent the day snowboarding, which I absolutely love. And I was completely removed from the current situation, the current environment. Now, here's what that accomplished. What it shifted was my response to everything that's going on, from fear to fact. So I hadn't forgotten that it was going on. I had spent all day not being in the gondola, which is enclosed, and instead being on the chairlift, which is open air, and standing apart from people and not touching anything and being careful of everything I was doing. And yet it had shifted from fear to fact. It was just something I had to do. And what I was really focused on was snowboarding. What I was really focused on was the incredible view and the amazing weather and the great experience that I was having. Even though in the moment I was also following all the necessary protocols, that's not where my focus was. And I got home and I spent 3 days thinking about what it is that I have to offer the world. And what I realized is that working on my company is necessary and important for the world right now. And what that did was throw me into hyperspeed working on my company. As a result, that then became another experience like I had snowboarding, where all day long what I'm doing is working on my company. All day long what I'm doing is providing value. I am working in my warrior purpose. I am doing the thing I love. I am going after providing value. I am going after helping people. I am going after creating what there is for me to create. And as a result, the space that I'm in is very similar to being at the top of a mountain and looking at the incredible view. It's very similar. And the effect that it has is that I spend all day focused on something positive, focus on what I'm creating, focus on my purpose in the world, focus on what I genuinely, authentically want on my gravestone, focus on the thing I want to leave behind. That is what I'm spending my day doing right now. And then in the evening and every morning, I check statistics. I read the statistics in the evening about what's going on. I read the statistics in the morning about what's going on. I work on figuring out what time I have to wake up early in the morning in order to place an Instacart order for whatever groceries I need. And it has all shifted from fear to fact. It has removed the emotion from it. I am in the process of doing what I need to be doing and managing what I need to be managing around the current conditions without any freak out about it. Because the more we freak out, the more we freak out. And the more that we think a different way, the more that we work on our purpose, the more we spend our days doing something that really lights us up and that matters, the more we do that, the more we think that way. Our brain forms neural pathways like tunnels. The more we think a certain way, the more that neural pathway gets formed and strengthened. And then it becomes easier for us to go to fear because we've gotten used to going to fear. So the more we practice other ways of being, the more we practice creating purpose and drive toward something that matters to us, the more that's where our brain will go to. The solution to what's going on right now, in order to shift from fear to fact, is to find something positive that draws you and compels you. Not just something that is, for example, yesterday, I took a break from all the working on my online courses that I've been doing because it's been a little bit intense. I love it, and it's been intense. I took a break and went and worked on restoring a birdhouse that came with the house that I live in. That's been sitting in my garage. Big. It's octagonal, it's wood, and it was crumbling. And I went and spent 4 or 5 hours yesterday working on that just because it was fun. This is actually not what I'm talking about doing, although that helps too. Anything you have that's sort of hobby related is great. But what I really am talking about is finding something that compels you, that draws you into it, that causes you to need to finish it, to need to be working on it. Something you've been putting off for years, something that's been on your to-do list. It's gone from one to-do list to another that you've always wanted to work on and never have. This is the time to do that thing. This is the time to dive into that thing. Because first of all, you have extra time in the day. I know I just gave some of you hives by saying that because you have kids that are now at home and you're dealing with homeschooling and you absolutely do not have extra time in the day. But you do have some extra time in the day because you're not commuting. You have more people in your house to deal with on a regular basis. And you can find, and even if you have kids who've just moved back home that were living afar and your significant other is now working from home and you're surrounded with people and you feel like you have no time, what I want to propose to you is that you can't afford to not do this. I kind of hate it when people say to me, you can't afford to not do this, because it's usually at a time that I really don't have any extra time, and so them telling me that I need to find time doesn't help. But what I'm saying is, you will feel better. You will shift from fear to fact if you find something that compels you that you need to be working toward. So what's happening right now is people are focused on, and you may be focused on, how to get groceries, your kids moving home, having kids that are going through homeschooling, trying to keep your job going, having your significant other now there all the time because they're working from home too. I get it that there's a lot going on. And it's all of that that's a lot going on that is raising your stress level, your anxiety level, and your level of, potentially your level of fear. And in order to calm all that down, in order to deal better with all of the circumstances of your life that are changing, the best way to do that is to find something really important to you with purpose that matters and start doing that. Have it draw you in, have it compel you so that you have a reason during the day, so you have a reason for existing other than existing, right? So that you have a reason to be moving, to be speaking, to be typing, to be cooking, to be doing whatever it is that you're doing so that you have a reason for it other than dealing with uncertainty. The more you find something that draws you in and compels you, the more you find something that you can be fully engaged in, the more you will shift from fear or anxiety to fact. Feel free to reach out if you have any comments or questions, and I will speak with you tomorrow.
If you are ready to become a warrior at work so that you get to fully live, I'm inviting you to join our Warriors at Work program, where you'll identify your warrior self, find your warrior purpose, develop your warrior squad, and start living as a warrior leader. Using the E9 corporate coaching model that I developed after years of coaching and managing people. It's risk-free. If you fully engage and do the work and don't feel like it's working for you, I'll give you your money back. You can just join the first course or the whole series of 7 courses. Go to warriors-at-work.com to sign up. I'll see you there.